Do you think people are remembering to like, subscribe, and comment to Sessions with Sage?
I think so.
Okay, good. So we're just getting used to actually saying it. So help some girls out.
I mean, I'm getting questions so that
I know.
obviously they know how to follow rules, which is amazing.
Are you getting nice questions?
These ones are fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good.
At least I'll have fun with it.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Okay.
At some point, I look forward to flipping this and turning this back on you.
No, never happening. All right. This comes from Tasha from Sherman, Texas. Good old Texas.
I love Texas.
I love Texas. Such a great state. Okay. My 13-year-old daughter is biracial and has hair like yours.
Oh.
What products do you use?
Oh.
And did you ever get pressure to straighten your hair? Now, before we talk about the products that you love, I just want to put up a little picture we have of proof that you have straightened your hair.
Oh, I've straightened it several times, even on TV.
Can we put that up? Because let me tell you, I actually get scared when you straighten your hair.
Why?
Because I don't know, it's not you.
I look very different.
You look older, which freaks me out.
Do I look older?
I mean, this is nothing to say against the person that did your hair. We love her. Renee did this when you were back in studio. But I mean, it still freaks me out. And please don't ever do it again.
Yeah. I know.
But, I mean,
okay, I've seen that enough. Or at least put us up on a two-shot with it, Carl, for God's sake.
We're going to take her off, whoever she is. I can't do it. But really, I mean, you have such unique hair.
First of all, it took 2.5 hours for someone to straighten the crap out of this. It takes like
that's a commitment.
Muscle
it's a
to
commitment.
pull this out. The answer, I'll start from that, is that yes, I got a lot of pressure. I actually remember it was probably 2003, and I was up for I won't say the job because it'll expose some people, but I was up for a really big job. I was still working in Maryland at Comcast Sportsnet, Mid-Atlantic, so long before we met, working in DC, Baltimore. And I was up for a big job. And the producer came back and told my agent, listen, love her. I think she's talented. She could totally do the job. Really don't like her hair, though.
No. That's rude.
I was like devastated. Because I'm like, of course, I was like, oh my gosh, I'll change my hair. I'll straighten my hair, whatever it takes. Because I was young and in the industry, and it was a massive job. And for him to say, and he's one of the tops in the business still, he's still doing it. He's a lead producer. He was like, yeah, I don't like her hair. And I thought, wait, you're not thinking about my skill set, my ability to do the job?
Can do the job actually.
My hair. And then they ended up hiring someone else who she only lasted a year. She was average at best, not a nice person. So I'm fine saying that.
Does she have straight hair?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Straight hair. She's hot. That's about it. But like, sorry, facts are facts. And I think history has shown that to be true. I just was shocked that like.
I see people recognize you based on your hair.
Because of my hair.
You could have it under a, baseball cap. You could look crazy. It could be up. It could be down. They're like, wait, is that Sage Steele?
I know.
I mean, I
always say if I had like normal straight hair, no one would recognize me.
But I mean, here, as a curly girl too, like you always wanted like what you didn't have.
Correct.
I always wanted to straighten my hair because that's what the pretty girls had was like straight, beautiful, flowy hair. Now I'm like, screw it. This is
exactly
natural. I can do it in 5 minutes and walk out the door.
But at what age did you stop caring about that?
Like 5 years ago. During the pandemic when I was like, why am I trying to impress anybody?
Why are we trying?
But I think in TV and for
TV
for this person too, when you have young girls, and I've seen it, they come up to you.
Yeah.
Like, I have a daughter that looks like you. And it's amazing. I think anyone can say that. When they can see someone on TV that they can relate to, that's a game changer for them.
And that has happened countless times. And every time I'm really grateful to hear it. It's funny. A few years ago, Malika Andrews, who had just started at ESPN, she was literally just starting, was just starting doing live shots and stuff. This is probably 2020. So, I mean, she's super young and has done great. But I remember her first SportsCenter hit with me, and we were communicating later. And she's like, I just want you to know that when I was 12 years old, my mom and I were watching you. And first of all, I was like,
you're like, well, thanks for dating me, Malika.
Great.
Like, great.
Yeah. Thanks. When I was 12 years old, And she said, my mom pointed out to me, this is her, that look, she has curly hair too. And look what she's doing. You can do this and you can be yourself and you can leave your hair how God made it.
Yes.
And so I remember feeling really, gosh, I was so glad she told me that, because there were those bosses along the way who were like, yeah, you don't really fit what we're looking for here.
We want you to be diverse, but not that diverse.
But that was back then.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to take some credit, I think, because I didn't know how to change it or to straighten it. So I just left it, not knowing that just by leaving it natural and being me, that other young women would see it and be like, oh, maybe I can do this too. Because on a local and national level, I didn't know of any other women who were going with the curls, you know?
And I love seeing a woman like do her natural curls.
Totally.
Especially, I mean, it's beautiful.
But you do have to rock it. You do have to just not care.
You have to own it. It has a personality.
Yes.
It's
not going to be perfect.
So what products do you like to use in your hair? Because that's a whole formula.
I feel like your hair becomes immune to the products. And so you have to change it up. It's like skincare. You have to change it up. Right now, actually for the last probably year and a half, I've used Miss Jessie's. It's like
some old school stuff.
It's CVS, Target, Walgreens. Like, it's not super expensive, but Miss Jessie's, and it's the one with the least amount of hold. It's called Pillow Soft Curls, Miss Jessie's. And no, I'm not getting paid for this or anything. It's just what happens.
It's not a sponsorship.
It's not.
But we'll take some free product.
Because at the end of the day, it's amazing. I think, especially when I travel, I have people stop me on the plane, and the airport flight attendants, whatever, who are like, I love your hair. I love your curls. And it means a lot. It really does. Like, I'm grateful for that, you know?
I feel like a lot of people with curls, they think it's like so easy to style too, because the style's already done for you. But curls, as I know, doing your hair for so long and seeing other people do your hair, it wakes up with a different personality every single day.
And you don't know what it's going to be.
Every day.
Can I just say this one, especially when we were, way pre-pandemic, NBA Finals, NBA All-Star Game, World Series, all the different places that we went.
I had to get out of my lane too many times.
No, almost never. 95% of the time, I was never given a hair person.
No.
Times have changed at ESPN. I was never given that. And you know what? It's okay, because too many girls, women, it was always when we didn't have male stylists or makeup artists that really would try to do too much. It's like, just leave it. Just take the pieces that.
Because if you overwork a curl, it
jacks it all up. It ruins it. And then you got to wet it. You got to back. But I just wanted to thank you, because literally, I actually think it's a testament to anybody who is at work, whatever industry it is. And you have to sometimes get out of your lane and do things that maybe aren't in your job description. You don't have to, but you chose to.
Well, I selfishly chose to, because if your hair looks a mess, my makeup's going to look a mess.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm like, wait a second, I can't have hair bring down my aesthetic of makeup. So it was a little bit selfish.
It would distract from what you did here. And it was like, can we tame this? But listen, I
love that you really owned it. You've, allowed it to be like, during the pandemic, I had to do hair and makeup wasn't allowed in the studio, which was so hard for me to not have control over that. But you really I think a lot of talent embrace like the imperfections were kind of beautiful in a way too, because it makes you guys real. Because I think it's way gone the days of like anchor helmet hair.
Done. Gross.
Please, I hope it never comes back. I like what I call messy pretty, where it's, I don't know, you look like an everyday human. Imagine that.
And you just do it. And that's, by the way, the other cool thing about doing this kind of stuff, not in a studio anymore, traditional studio. I am so comfortable with the warmest, fuzziest, by the way, Jonathan Isaac of the Orlando Magic, this is his line, True Greatness. It's so special. Really comfortable. Unite us. It's amazing. And what he represents is amazing. Look it up. But in general, this is probably not how, I guess every once in a while we wear my hair up like this in studio.
Which I love,
But when I'm, now, and whenever I wasn't on air,
let it grow, let it be free, girl.
But just the whole thing, and to let go, and less makeup, because you know what? It's okay. When you're in those studios, you have to, right? And high def and all of the things, and national TV.
Shows everything.
But like, it's really cool to just be you and with all your imperfections. And again,
you're that's more relatable.
Totally. But that's what I'm trying to teach my girls too. And with social media the way it is, and all of the filtering and editing,
Yeah. We need to embrace our imperfections.
Gosh.
Because
But our hair is actually perfect.
Oh, yeah. But you never know who's watching. So you always have to think about that in a way.
I will say the one thing I haven't let go of with hair, as she can tell you, I'm like 98% gray.
Oh, child. That's for another show.
Right?
Like,
So that's the reason why I went a little lighter blonder.
It's snowing 24/7 with those grays.
It's so bad. But that's why people are like, oh, I love the blonde. It isn't because blondes are more fun, because obviously that's not what's happening in my life right now. But as far as,
maybe you need to go
life,
ginge.
That's so, that's stupid.
Yes. Excuse me, I'm offended.
Excuse me, your skin color looks better with ginge than mine would.
Like a deep, excuse me. Maybe you can't handle it. That's why. Maybe that's why you're not going to go. You can't handle it. It's fine.
I'll stick with the blondish with a lot of gray underneath.
Okay. So for more from Sage, make sure that you guys email me, Tiffany@sagedeal.com.
Wait, look at you doing a little tag here.
Listen, don't interrupt. I'm like in my anchor mode right now.
Look at her.
Email me, Tiffany@sagedeal.com with your questions for her. I will pick the best. And we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. All those things. You know what to do.